Hello everyone and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sister Wives actresses Kody Brown and Robyn Brown got into a heated exchange that caused Kody to depart their Flagstaff, Arizona home on the October 19th episode. Tensions are high between Kody Brown and his only remaining wife Robyn Brown in the wake of his alienation from many of his older children. On the October 19th episode of Sister Wives, text on screen claimed that Kody and Robyn had a heated exchange before the cameras arrived to record, prompting the father of 18 to depart the couple's Flagstaff, Arizona home. Robyn is extremely upset that I'm not reaching out more to my children, Kody revealed in a confessional. I'm not gonna sit here and fight with you, have a rift in our relationship caused by these people who have created the biggest rift in my life. I'm not doing that. So I just decided I need to take off. When Kody returned to the house, the two sought to talk their issues out, with Robyn arguing that Kody needed to reach out to the elder children he shares with former spouses Christine Brown, Janelle Brown and Mary Brown. I'm not gonna do it with a rejection every single time, Kody added. I'm not abandoning my children. They have betrayed me. Robyn shot back. But they're kids. No, they're adults, Kody answered her, later adding in a confessional, some people think that parental-child relationships don't have to be reciprocal, but when they're adults, yes they do. The scene, which was taped back in 2022, came shortly after years of friction between Kody and Robyn and the rest of the Brown family. After arguments about Kody's COVID rules and charges of his favoritism toward Robyn over his other spouses, Christine left Kody in 2021, Janelle in 2022, and Mary shortly after. Robyn, who stated that her own biological father was not around for her during her upbringing, informed her husband, "I'm having a hard time not losing respect for you a little bit." She said in her confessional, "If I were him I would be calling, emailing, texting, maybe showing up, flying out there, whatever." But Kody claimed he had no intention of begging his children to speak to him. "So I've spent a year here just lamenting the situation," Kody said of the disintegration of the Brown family. "When I get over that, those children who are open to me will get my attention." However, that answer is not good enough for Robyn, who said in her confessional, "I don't want to judge Kody, but at the same time I don't think Kody should be accepting it. I think that Kody should be camping out on their doorsteps and saying, 'Hey, you're going to talk to me?'" Kody finally said, "I don't try enough, I know that. I'm too hot-headed right now, Robyn. All I'll do is more damage." The two closed their talk with Robyn pleading with Kody to assure her that he will continue to try, to which he begrudgingly answered, "Okay, a little bit." But things only seem to be getting worse between Kody and Robyn in the trailer for next week's episode, which has Robyn on the floor praying while Kody says he hopes to save me and Robyn. Mary says Kody gave her hope for their marriage. Kody Brown believed he was ready to distance himself from his wife Mary Brown shortly after their 1990 vows. But he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, "Oh Mary, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us," Mary recounted in the September 15th premiere, citing their 2018 move. "Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years." Her primary problem, she added, is his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want in the story that he's been telling for all these years. And while Kody agreed that there may have been mixed messages, it was only because as he started to work on things, "I'm like, why would I do this?" he explained. "I would not court and date her now." Either way, Mary's pals were happy when she ultimately pulled the plug in early 2023. "They're like, okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And it's about damn time," she confessed. Blinders off, she now feels that he had been trying to get her to walk away for years by pretending he didn't love her. Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away. Kody wanted to sell Coyote Pass. Years after the family purchased the 14-acre plot of land they wanted to build on in Flagstaff, Arizona, Kody confessed in the season premiere that he was ready to let the dream wither. Unable to build without paying down the full $820,000 price tag, which the family supposedly accomplished in 2023, he informed remaining wife Robyn Brown, "I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it and then just start again somewhere else. As for Robyn, I can't talk about that," she answered. "That is so not where I'm at." Janelle left Kody for this reason. While second wife Janelle Brown previously told E! News, "We just kinda started to grow apart. Ultimately, it was Kody's failings as a parent to some of their kids that forced her to leave. The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it, stated the mom to Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown and Savannah Brown. And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here. Kody feels he's been excommunicated from his own family. That was the rationale Kody provided for not working more to bridge the rifts he was experiencing with several of his older children. I don't fit in the family anymore, he griped in the September 15th episode. Noting he was still fully married to Robyn and parenting their 5 kids together, Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brianna Brown, Solomon Brown and Ariella Brown, he added, and then I have some relationship with some of the other kids and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? Doesn't feel like a family. Robyn and Kody's marriage was on shaky ground. Despite being totally monogamous for the first time in their 14-year relationship, we're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage, Robyn acknowledged in the season 19 opener. It's been tough between us. He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. Kody's feeling a lot of rejection and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, are you going to reject me too? As a result, she stated, I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he is not sabotaging our relationship. The worst aspect, she summed up. There's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. Kody, meantime, was having a crisis of confidence, saying, I can't look myself in the mirror and say, hey dude, I love you. Maddie isn't speaking to her dad. Add Janelle's eldest daughter Madison to the list of kids Kody doesn't currently have a relationship with. I know that Maddie has not had any conversations with her dad, Janelle stated during the premiere. He's not called, she's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn. She's pretty much written them both off. At problem, claimed Janelle, is Kody having a half-hearted relationship with Maddie's kids Axel, Evangeline and Josephine. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it. As a result, Janelle stated in the September 22nd episode, Kody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Kody's brother, when the family started to really dissolve, with Kody not visiting or phoning Maddie, has been mama bear to the extreme, noted Janelle. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him. And while Robyn acknowledged she's been encouraging Kody to reach out and mend things, she said, I think the kids should be doing the same thing too. For now though, Kody doesn't appear ready to bridge the rift, griping that every time he spoke to his daughter, it was a fish for gossip and I got tired of it. Kody claimed he never loved Mary. While spending time together on their 32nd anniversary, he was alluding to the fact that he never loved me and he felt like he had to marry me, Mary said in a talk with her friend Brandy during the September 15th premiere. And I said to him, I said, Kody, I said, I know you loved me. And if he didn't, the mom to Leon Brown stated in a confessional, why did he ever choose to propose? When a single young man meets a single young woman, why would he choose to marry her and only reinforce and impose love for her when he didn't love her? She wondered. How cruel is that? To select me out of a throng and just be like, I pick you to try to force myself to love for the next 32 years? Kody's answer, he stated in his own confessional. Oh, Mary has her little allegations now. Fine, she may say whatever she wants. I'm not going to comment on it. Janelle threatened legal action against Kody. Though she was undecided on if she'd like to build on Coyote Pass or simply sell it off, Janelle noted that step one was paying off the Arizona property. And with Kody unwilling to talk to her about the situation, I think I'm going to have to lawyer up, she confessed to former sister wife Christine Brown in the September 22nd episode. Because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him. And Janelle conceded that without a legal marriage to Kody, I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property. As she put it, it's not like I'm just phoning a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, it's incredibly complicated since there's no legal marriage. Kody supposedly divulged private information to his other wives. Kody's explanation for not discussing with Janelle about their Arizona property is that he no longer trusted her. We will pay off the property when the time comes, he insisted in a confessional on the September 22nd episode. And I'm not giving you any details about what I'm doing or whatever because I'm tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family. A bit of a pot calling the kettle black, Janelle noted in her own interview. He leaks like a sieve, she confessed. He told me stuff about his other relationships and his other wives that I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be telling me that. Family money paid for Robyn's house. Back when the family's love was still increasing rather than dividing, they used to pool their money into one pot. We would spend all the resources to help one person. Then we would all gather to support the other person, Janelle revealed on the September 22nd show. That's how it always worked until the last 10 years or so. And all of a sudden it's been about my estate and everyone needs their own estate. So when Robyn was in need of a home in Arizona, they all put in to buy her $1.65 million 5-bedroom spread, which was placed for sale this past August. The intention was that it would be an asset for the family, said Robyn. But when Janelle suggested that they all put their names on the mortgage, she was rebuffed. Kody was like, no, we need to protect Robyn's estate, Janelle recalled. So now that she's extricating herself from the family, continued Janelle, she'd like her portion of the Kody Pass proceed. And I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robyn's house. But that could be a tough sell. We were working together for so long, said Robyn. And with Janelle alleging she's owed money from them, Robyn added, it's like, how do you calculate? How do you figure that out? It's really confusing. Janelle questioned how Kody handled the family money. Griping about the family's inability to pay off Kody Pass, Janelle said Kody claimed to have all these other obligations, and yet, she's witnessed him scoop up other assets like trailers and home decor. I see all the art on their walls, she said of Robyn and Kody's home. I see all these stuff. And that's great, I have money and I've spent it on things too. For his part, Kody claimed much of his wealth went to buying cars, basically had a fleet, and insurance for the kids. And while Janelle said she wasn't sure how Kody and Robyn handled their finances, I used to constantly be shocked at how gorgeous her backyard looked. It was entirely finished. And there was constantly like things at her place. And I was like, wow. Bottom line, she said. He doesn't prioritize what I need or what I want, and that issue eventually broke her down. I believe after a while I began to realize it and my kids were becoming very furious about it like my adult children. Like, what the hell, Mom? Robyn's take, however, was that she was very careful with her money when her first marriage went up. I used to be not so great with money, she admitted during the September 22nd show. When I was young I had hard knocks and then I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well. As for her fellow sister wives, she remarked, you just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did, that's all. Janelle and Christine see their kids as the core group of the family. At the moment, Janelle acknowledged in the September 22nd episode, while she and Christine, mom to Aspen Brown, Michael T. Brown Padron, Paydon Brown, Gwendolyn Brown, Isabel Brown and Truly Brown, get together with their broods, there's no contact, really, with Mary or Robyn or Kody. I don't really foresee that's going to change much. Kody thinks his wives leaving hurt his relationship with the kids. Calling their setup with 4 residences on one cul-de-sac during their stint in Las Vegas the best time of my life, Kody added. Everything was going along smoothly and Maddie and Caleb were around and it was great having them around. And I loved Caleb. He was definitely like family. But things started to fall apart in Arizona as they argued about coronavirus-related procedures. Then when his marriages went apart, he added, his bonds with the kids followed. It just made all those relationships go sour. But Christine maintained there were concerns far before she announced she was departing in late 2021. All the kids that were frustrated way before I left, she remarked on the September 22nd show. My leaving didn't change his kids' relationship with him. Kody can still fix his relationships with his children, though it'll definitely take some effort. I'm so angry about how I've been treated that I haven't gotten past that, Kody stated. Here's the thing is I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them that I did. I hope the time comes when the contempt will subside. We'll be able to find forgiveness and love again. Kody said his marriage to Mary was miserable. Kody stated he and Mary didn't know each other all that well when they wed both spiritually and legally at the age of 21 and 19 respectively. They eventually filed for divorce in 2014 so Kody could legally adopt Robyn's 3 eldest children from her first marriage. When we were married, she was extremely different and I believe just there's some baggage that Mary had that I didn't know about, Kody stated. Initially I felt like I could live with it. Claiming that everything was a struggle, he said. I can't live in a world where she is constantly furious at me. Yet he was unable to go. A man in plural marriage told Kody, if he wants to stay faithful and in the faith, he cannot pursue a divorce. It's not authorized. So I was not able to get out of that connection. At the same time, I didn't necessarily want out of the relationship. I wanted to know if we could save and fix it. Hence the contradictory messages. He conceded of Mary expecting they would work everything out. But every time they were together, said Kody, she wasn't lovely, she wasn't fun, she wasn't kind, she wasn't interested. I'm trying to be intrigued with her and I'm bored. To be fair, he added, he could see why Mary felt abandoned, but I didn't toss me out. Christine, Janelle and Mary all chose to have me leave the home. Mary plans to get a spiritual divorce. Though Janelle and Christine thought they didn't need to divorce Kody since their marriage was never legal, Mary petitioned their church for an official separation, termed a release, in late 2022. When each of us 4 girls married Kody, it was through our church, she stated in the September 22nd episode. Obviously we can't all be legally married, but it was what we termed a covenant. So I feel like it's best to terminate that since we're not moving forward with any marriage and I don't want to be like sealed to him for eternity if he doesn't want me. And I'm at a position that like let's just separate this entirely. Kody was reluctant to the notion, she continued, not wanting to acknowledge the authority of the religious officials. The harm was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what, Kody revealed of his stance. And so however we are made accountable to God. I don't want to be accountable to this church and all its BS. So I'm going to let Mary go and do her thing because if I'm furious at her it becomes a conflict. And I needed her simply to go away because it just took forever for her to eventually grasp it's been done and over for years. Many of Kody's kids aren't speaking to each other. A text message discussion over a 2021 holiday gift exchange grew particularly heated for the 18 Brown offspring. It all went awful, it all went south, described Christine. Kody and Robyn and their kids were on one side and they wanted nothing to do with Janelle, me, our kids. And there was a schism that happened following this text conversation. Robyn's take was that her 3 older kids felt the exchange was emotionally unsafe and said they needed to take a step back from the relationship. But it was never anything about, we don't want to see you again, we don't want anything to do with you, she insisted. It was just about like, hey, this got yucky. For his side, Gabriel is hoping that they could find their way back to each other. The thing I want most is to just have a relationship with Robyn's children again, he said in the October 13th episode. In middle school, Aurora was my favorite person to hang out with. And in high school I would always attempt to hit Dayton up. But I'm not hopeful about a relationship with Dad and Robyn. Robyn's kids never felt welcomed into the family. I have been told directly multiple circumstances by multiple different people that I was not accepted. Aurora said of entering into the family when her mom wed Kody in 2010, that I was not their sister, that they didn't consider or see me that way. And her sister Brianna said she felt the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family and it never really happened. But Christine isn't sure how they could have stretched their arms much wider. Robyn's kids and Robyn were invited to everything, she demanded. I would just say, just come into the house anytime you want. Meanwhile, she noted, her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to Robyn's kids and Michael T. Brown Padrone even lived with them for a stretch. There were hard times and my kids were frustrated, but they always considered Robyn's kids their siblings just the same. Janelle would do plural marriage again. Gushing over the liberty she was granted, Janelle remarked of plural marriage, when it's going well, you have this great family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into. You have a husband and you have a terrific relationship with him and you have everything correct. And then I have all my independence. So to me, multiple marriage actually was a pretty beautiful arrangement. Kody started distancing himself from Janelle years ago. To hear Janelle tell it, Kody had a tougher time sharing his love after the family decamped from Las Vegas to Arizona in 2018. When he moved to Flagstaff, Kody found it a lot easier to be gone, she remarked on the September 29th episode. A few of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my place, revealing he'd try to beg off because he was weary, she shared. I'm really tired. I'm like, well, you can rest at my place just as much as you can rest at Robyn's house. Janelle and Christine's kids didn't love going to Robyn's. Detailing the separateness her brood felt with Robyn, Janelle claimed, my children were scolded if they would open up Robyn's fridge. For Christine's kids, though, the issue was that they saw that Robyn and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. And Robyn claimed her staff really felt the split. Mary across the board was very accepting of my kids and I, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I, she stated on the September 29th episode. All we wanted to do was be a part of this family. But Gabriel would claim that he and his siblings went to great lengths to welcome them into the fold. I think that Robyn clearly has a victim complex, he remarked in the October 13th episode. I mean, to put it frankly, and I don't particularly blame her for that. I think that various people do, create different techniques to keep themselves afloat. However, he continued, if she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by dad and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robyn ever again. Janelle questioned Robyn and Kody's parenting. Having their dad bounce between 4 different houses did have an influence on Kody's 18 kids. He recounted during the September 29th episode, describing the moment that his and Robyn's youngest, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he was trying to depart. I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that need to see me, Kody recalled. And she's just dragging along on my legs crying, don't leave me, daddy, don't leave me. And I'm like, golly dude, this is terrible. Unfortunately, that's just a fact of plural marriage, stated Janelle. From the very beginning, she explained, her kids understood that their dad was not going to always be there. I always felt like that Kody and Robyn bungled the matter with her children. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Ari simply gets so depressed or something. I'm saying I feel like that was horrible parenting. Through entire history of the family, the other kids did that and they're okay. They're well-adjusted grown-ups. Mykelti had a very close relationship with Robyn. One of the few brown kids who was still close to both Robyn and Kody and Christine and Janelle, mom of 3, Mykelti took on the job of peacekeeper during Kody's divorces. Tight with Robyn from the moment she entered the Brown family, Mykelti even invited her to be for the November 2022 delivery of her twins Archer and Ace. When Robyn first joined the family, I was trying to figure out who I was, and she made me feel important and she made me feel seen, Mykelti revealed on the September 29th episode. Robyn was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me, and her mom Christine couldn't have been more thrilled. When Robyn came in the family and it was obvious her and Mykelti had a great relationship, it was everything that I hoped for, Christine shared the October 6th episode. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms. One of Kody's kids claimed he brainwashed them. Kody feels it's not only his wives who subtracted him from their lives. They're purposefully leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit, he explained during the October 6th episodes, giving his take on his estrangement from some of his older kids. I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. What's more, he continued, he think his prior spouses are a part to blame. This gap in relationship with my children is primarily in my mind because of ST talk, he added. There's this cyclone of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever, and it's like, well, blame dad. Dad screwed up. But while he may bear a bit of that guilt, he takes umbrance with the name-calling, revealing specifically that he was struggling to connect with Hunter, Maddie and Gabriel. Kody added that one of his kids responded to a text, saying, "You are a piece of trash. I would never speak to you again regardless." In a separate incident, he told cameras, "I've had one of my kids just say, 'You're an a-hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me.' And it's that venom he's not willing to deal with. I'm not going to reach out forever," he said, noting he thinks his grown-ups should be doing more to mend things. "I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too." Robyn was struggling to respect Kody as a parent. For Robyn, observing Kody's isolation from his older children touched far too close to home. "When I was little, my parents got a divorce," she recounted during the October 6th show. He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember confronting my biological father saying, "What happened? Why?" All he really did was just offer a bunch of stupid reasons as to why he wasn't there for me when I was young, and it just sucked. So no, she wasn't ready to allow Kody's hurt feelings stop him from making an attempt. "I'm having a hard time not feeling like losing respect for you a little bit," she said during their violent on-camera disagreement, which took place in late 2022. And though Kody admitted he might be doing more to restore his relationship with his kids, he stated he needs to mend his heart first. Saying he feels some of his kids are colluding against me, he said, "I'm so upset about what has transpired that if I talk to my kids, I'm concerned that they'll trigger me with an accusation. I'm too hot-headed right now. All I'll do is more damage." Kody went years without seeing his grandchildren. Though majority of the family was in attendance when Janelle and Kody's oldest Logan wed now wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, they weren't exactly feeling the love. "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," Kody grumbled to Robyn in the October 6th episode, noting that his daughter hadn't told him she was carrying her third baby, daughter Josephine, who arrived in February 2023. "She never told me she was pregnant." Frankly, Maddie doesn't tell her dad much of anything, with the two rarely conversing. Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him. Janelle stated of why her daughter remained away of Kody at the wedding. "She is very protective of her children. Kody has not been there since Evie was born, and Evie's 3.5. And she didn't want him to just drop in and be like, 'Oh, I'm your grandpa,' and then be like, 'What? Who is this guy?'" Kody's take: "It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time," he said, noting Maddie's life in North Carolina, especially if you transfer your children to a totally different coast. "I have business and a life in Flagstaff." Kody wanted his kids to apologize to Robyn. While it's evident that Kody and his adult children have very different opinions of their prolonged separation, one sticking point is his seeking some form of mea culpa. "After the COVID scare was over and we all went back to our normal lives, we still couldn't reconcile as a family because Kody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him and to Robyn, especially to Robyn," Janelle explained of her sons in the October 13th episode. "And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me." Kody's concern, Janelle added, was that he thought his kids hadn't been loyal to him, and the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bulls to like that, she summed up. "And I'm like, whatever, Kody. Yeah, whatever." Gabriel had a similar stance, describing one conversation with his father. "He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology," he recounted to Janelle. "Eventually I was just like, hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore." He came back a couple of days later and texted me. He's like, "Hey, I've been thinking about what you've been saying. Forgive you, please forgive me." I was like, "Forgive me for what?" Kody only sees one of Janelle's kids. Of the 6 children Kody shares with Janelle, he only sees his youngest, Savannah. "It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call and they'll go out," Janelle described in the October 13th episode. The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him. As for Savannah, who graduated from high school in 2023, she feels her 4 older brothers have taken on that father figure position, the teen already divulging to Janelle that she'd tap her siblings to accompany her down the aisle one day. "I've talked to Savannah about it and she's like, 'Look, I just have come to realize that this is who he is,'" said Janelle. "He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up and we have a lot of fun and then he's gone. I can meet him where he's at. It's okay." Janelle, however, is less forgiving. "I'm just so frustrated with Kody," she moaned. "Look, I've seen this happen. I have several women I've worked with over the years who divorced, and then the father just goes MIA with the kids." Early on in their father-son schism, Gabriel took it very hard because Kody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips, noted Janelle, stating that Kody was a totally engaged father up until the past few years. And while Gabriel is somewhat flummoxed at what he did to anger his father, he added during the October 13th episode, "I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again. And I'm perfectly okay with that." As Janelle described it, he's at peace that his dad is not in his life. "And that's what I hope for all of my kids. And I think they're all getting here." For his part, Kody also seems resigned to the circumstance. "I'm really sorry that Gabriel feels that way. He confessed in a confessional. I have reached out to him multiple times only to get rejected. But it wasn't from a lack of trying on my part. Mary may have been the last woman to leave Kody, but she officially divided their love in late 2022 by requesting and receiving what their faith calls a release on the grounds of abandonment. I know he doesn't like that word, she said on the October 13th show, because he doesn't feel like he abandoned me. Feel like he did. In fact, she feels he completely ignored her until she made the decision to leave, so that he could say, "My hands are clean." And Kody didn't entirely deny that he had a bit of a strategy. "I had moved on a long time ago," he explained in a confessional. "But let's just be honest here. I was afraid of what she would do if I ripped off that band-aid. It's because Mary was never loyal to me, ever. That's what I've been worried about. It's just kind of reputation, because when you get divorced your reputation is trashed." Instead, asserted Mary, it was hers that was being soiled. "It's really just sad that Kody's talking about our marriage the way that he's talking about it," she stated. "It feels like the narrative has changed with him, but the things that he's saying about me to other people and the people are believing are not true."